My back door neighbor is a guy named Sean, but he doesn't actually live in the house behind ours that belonged to his grandfather before him, and now it just sits empty. He keeps the grass cut, comes by a couple of times a week to check on things, and he lets me run my dog in his huge front yard, which he says he likes because it makes people think somebody's living there. I kind of help keep a watch on things for him. Well, the other day, Sean was there while I was, and he said, "Let me show you something." And he took me over to this big pear tree in the backyard, and he said, "This tree produces the best pears you will ever eat. And when they get ripe, I want you and your wife to take all you want. Otherwise, they're just going to fall to the ground and rot." So I get to use this gigantic front yard for my dog, and I get to harvest all the locally sourced, organically grown pears I want, and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to mow the lawn. I don't have to pay the taxes. I don't have to prune the tree. It's a free, unearned gift. All I have to do is reach up and pick the fruit. Speaking of fruit, in Galatians 5, Paul describes the virtues that should show up in a Christian's life: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. He calls these the fruit of the Spirit, the virtues the Spirit produces in our lives. Now, we can't artificially generate those virtues on our own. I mean, have you ever tried to be more patient? We can muster up a little more tolerance for a little while, but then something snaps and we go back to being just as irascible as ever. And fun we can make, but joy, we don't really have the ingredients for that. And instead of genuine peace, well, we take a prescription. It's the same with all the other virtues. You might say that our best efforts at cultivating those virtues on our own are fruitless. So, does that mean there's nothing we can do? Do we just sit around and maybe wait for God to upload those virtues into our lives? Can we blame God for not being a very good gardener if we aren't faithful or gentle or self-controlled? Well, one chapter later in Galatians, Paul says this: "Whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life." What does that mean? Well, I think it's like the pear tree in my backdoor neighbor's yard. I didn't plant it. I don't water, fertilize, or prune it. I get to enjoy its fruit. And all I did was cultivate a relationship with the owner. Not a sermon, just a thought.